Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the shop. It finally got warm enough where I could get ready to start filming. When I got out here it was right at about 32 degrees. My simple greens froze and it is less than 25 degrees outside, 20-mile-an-hour winds, so that you're down like 7-8 degrees with a wind chill. We did some rearranging out with our heater. We used to have a heater across the other side of the hut. We got it right beside us now. So, see where it's blowing back in there and underneath here? Okay, this is one of them Harbor Freight fishing chairs. See this? Let's keep the cold from coming on the back of my legs, okay? Now over here, we use this pillow when we lean against the desk, so it ain't so hard on your chest and your gut. Because I'll lean up on here when I'm working way over here, which is comfortable. Plus I stretch my back a little bit. There's blankets down there, see that? You can feel heat coming through here. Okay? So, we're blowing heat underneath the desk, the table. We got a fan over there that's kind of helps bring it up. So, we're warming up pretty fast. We've only been out there for about 15 minutes. That clock's not right. My watch run down. I took the day off yesterday because it was colder than today. So it's probably like 10 in the morning. I'll wait for the whistle to blow because it's Saturday. Then I'll set my watch. But it was run down. It's one of those self-winding, you got to shake it. So I quit using it. I got my Casio. I did make a video on that Casio. If not, I'll look back and make one someday. It's your, you know, the old school Casio with the digital date and everything with a real nice plastic band, the retro one. I'll make a video if I never made one on it. I think you know what I mean if you're old as me. You know, one of the first digital type watches. But yeah, we're warming it up. This is our project we've been building, okay? I'm kind of building a dragster roadster frame, and with fake 4-link suspensions. We use leaf springs for the bottom. You can talk, but see what that's solid, so it's fake. But this is how we made this. We took some plastic knives. See how this is made? Model car glue works on it, but boy, it takes forever to dry it. See how we hollowed that out? Okay. Now, the front frame horns, which I call like on a Model A or so, see how they're made? So the frame's jacked up in the back. I don't want the body leaning down though. You've seen them hot rods with a, like a 30, say it's a 32, 34 Ford coupe, whatever. You know, they always got the body going down. It looks like the frame's bent. These are made from the knife, which the side was. These are made from pieces of the knife blade, if I can find it. Here it is. I chopped off the knife blade. The top of it, to get that curve piece I wanted. So, I'm assuming that's upside down. See the nice curve you got? Looks just like the frame horns, almost original type. These have been split and glued together right here. We'll bring this back one more time. We got all day to make this film. See where that was split and brought together? I think you see what I mean. Of course you do. Hey, you gotta make use of what materials you got. We've been working on rims, okay? These are spoke rims for the front. Well, there was no backings, I'd already used them. But we sacrificed the GMC hubcaps. So I think you can see what I did. I carved it all out, and that's glued in there. I gotta touch it up with some silver. So that's glued onto the back of the mag. So you got a full rim, okay? Which is nice. I wish those were skinnier. This is a little different. Even if I had the pieces that went in here that glued in there, I don't like the offset. So, we took, there's the original, melted a hole and put it through there. This is where your lockouts would have been on the 4-wheel drive. And we have a tool we made. That's a big darning needle. All epoxy taped inside, and it's a big darning needle. It goes about this far in here. And to take up the space, I got a piece of plastic paintbrush handle. Goes up here and locks against this, so not to really show a company name, but yeah. I'll heat this up in the candle. I'll grab a little piece of plastic like I do hot glue. You see them laying back there in them hunks? I'll get it on fire and I'll get down here and weld this thing. See where it's welded? I actually weld the plastic together because glue takes forever. It's kind of crappy, but let's go back to the... See how I shaved this down? I kind of messed it up. I'll be putting some epoxy in there. This gives me my offset that I want, because I want the rim to stick out. Here the tires are hitting the frame, and this really isn't hitting the frame, okay? Well, if you look at this, see the offset I got where it sets out wider? That way I can make this wider. I am going to attempt today to make a bent axle. I tried doing it on a wire, it does not work. I will try to make it out of plastic. Your straight axle, you know in your Model A, if you're not familiar, look them up. Your axle goes like this and it bends up and goes like that when the wheel goes on. I think we can find some plastic and do that. I needed some axle material. You will not believe where I got it from. I had to steal it off of this. It's got your rod in there. See that? For your depth. There. Well, you can do this. Don't get nervous. With one hand, this thing. See that? I chopped that out of there. But I also want to show you, I've got this out too for accurate measurement. I've showed a video on these. These are more accurate than Harbor Freight's other calipers for thousands. Now, people got confused. They had .01. That's hundredths of an inch, not thousandths of an inch. I may be wrong. You can correct me. But each of them tick marks on the white here is a 64th of an inch. If you get used to this and you can read a ruler, you can measure something that's 5/10 thousandths by learning how to read this dial out here. Maybe I'll figure that out to be able to tell you. If I tell you, I'll just get confused. I mean, when I showed these, I got confused. These are built way better. You gotta trust me. They are smoother. And they roll so nice. Harbor Freight quit selling these, they brought them back. I had a pair that went bye-bye, and I decided to buy a new pair, so. Yeah, they're really nice. For model making and stuff, I said, and you can get down to the nitty-gritty with these. You know, I'm working like 64ths of an inch, so. But very nice for model building. Like I say, I glue this together and your tire will fit right over, just like putting a tire on your garden tractor around. So we're going to work on this, put some epoxy on it. And we've got our plastic saw blade and our Dremel tool. We'll slice this down. We got kind of a hack job. These came with the 55. They're just going to have to be painted silver. Typical drag racing, though. Think about it. Nice spokes on the front, where you can see through them. Whatever you want to call them. They're not Kragers, they're whatever. But here's how the frame sets. Wasting 10 minutes here. What's our temperature? Ooh, we're about 70 degrees. You know, I actually feel warm. I am not cold. My back's a little bit cold, so I still got my jacket on. See that? That's where it'll set. I don't know if we'll make a body for this. Excuse me. I got my big mug of 25 ounce of coffee with cocoa. I'm going to be on a roll. Oh boy. Sugar and caffeine. If I build a body for this, it will look more like a dragster than a Model A, and so it will be my own custom body. leftover shocks and parts, ruined out of a 55 Chevy, double shocks. Imagine hand painting this, okay? Painting it gray, painted black. And you can see where I missed. I tell people, don't worry about that. Let me show you a defect. Let me find, see that where I messed up? That black paint on gray. Just go back and touch it up with a toothpick. I might do that before I get going here so it gets dried quicker. Don't worry about that. If you make a mistake, just go back and touch it up. This is all my own idea what a 4-link could look like. I used parts of the leaf spring there. Okay, we yacked enough, but that's what Sunday in the Shop video is, just a visit, show what I'm doing. You know, show more of the work area, you know, get right back in here and show you. I've got it pretty cozy in here. See how much junk I've got? I said, it did not take very long to fill this full of junk. But it's tools, but you know what I mean. It's kind of an organized mess. You've got to, what's this? I don't know, 18. You've got a work area, so put all your crap where you want it back in there. There's everything in there, so, you know, we'll get you a view back here. Then we'll take a break. We'll be back when we get some work done. Okay, this is worth the video. That was a hack job. I did a lot better job sawing this. I took my time. I have to get rid of this because this has to set flush to there, and it had to be 5/16 of an inch wide. Well, I got my epoxy upside down thawing out so I can fill this cracking where I messed it up. This wheel's probably going to be crooked. You see where I broke my piece off? We'll glue it back on when we put it together. So this will probably be glued permanently to the axle, but I don't know how I did it. I was using my hot needle, right? But then I was twisting the axle, and that's probably what did. I twisted it off. But it'll work. Remember, always take the chrome off everything when you're going to paint it, and even this plastic. Sand that stuff down so it's not shiny, so the glue will stick. Okay, we're going to get this glued together, and then we're going to try to repair the other one with some epoxy filled in, just so we know it's a little bit stronger, because where that gap is, there's no glue there. We're not going to try to put glue down. It will never dry. When we come back, we'll show you how we repaired this. We can find the old worn out part. This one when I bought it, it didn't have a collet or the holder. Cordless. Oh, you talk about nice for hobby work. Oh man, like gouging out them spoon knife handles, all that plastic. Oh man. And if I used a big one, this one with the saw to saw the rim, so I've got it right. But this is so handy. Starts out, kicks down. Charge it on your computer, whatever your little USB charger in the back. And this was what, about 13, 14 bucks? I got like $10 worth of diamond bits with it. I have videos on every tool, so we'll be back. Okay, we got this monster engine mocked up here. We got our wheels on one. I need to take them back off because the glue is not completely dried and it's going crooked on me. This straight axle is made by just finding a piece that I needed. It was 1.25 inches with these pegs. Squaring it up. We have to use some epoxy to make it look better. We will. We might put a fake, look on the Model A, they got a curved leaf spring that goes like this, and then your axle sets on it. So you have a leaf spring like this on the frame with a center mount, and then you got your wishbone things that go back to there. I'm going to put a plug in here now. This is a good channel. Iron Trap Garage. This guy builds Model A's, 32, 34 Ford Coupes. He actually built a door, the inside door frame skin and the outside door skin from scratch for a Model A Roadster body. I watched him take the dent out of a fender, say a 30-some Ford. It looked like he dropped a bowling ball out of it. When he was done, with no filler, you could almost paint it. I watched a video where he actually took the whole thing. He fabricates a lot of parts. He goes to state auctions. He buys a lot of parts. He has every intake ever made for a flathead. I really enjoy the channel, so we get a kick out of that. There's another one I'll mention next week. He's got a 56 Buick. It's a little toy car, like when you fit, it's like a go-kart, but it's made from real car fenders and parts. And I cannot tell you his name. I have to wait till next week to tell you. And I'm sure he lives in Canada. So I tried to plug some of these channels I've been watching. What we're going to do is, you see that? We're going to notch this frame and bring this up into where we want it. And this cross member will probably be deleted. And then I'll probably put a curved leaf spring in it. But I've got to get this built. We may have to cheat and put the axle all the way through. And hopefully you don't see it when it's got the curved leaf spring. Because we just can't put little pegs in there. I don't think that's going to hold. There's not much width there for an axle. See that? This stuff gets tedious, gets frustrating. And this has been working great. I can't get to my drawing paper, don't know where it is. So I grabbed an old notebook. Well, I had lines on here when I bent the frame in. Okay. And it's the same wheelbase almost as a 55 Chevy. It is the same as the GMC Jimmy. It's like 4 1/4 inches. So it's about the same wheelbase as a 50s car. But there you go. We're going to do a little more work. This crossmember was temporary because I didn't know exactly where I wanted it. The way I figured, I got plenty of room. This won't have a radiator. It'll have some kind of body out here, or no body at all. There'll be no body out here. It'll have some kind of maybe a grill shell somehow. Maybe not. There might not be nothing up here. But we will make some kind of dragster body. I thought of making like the boat tail. What is it, a cord? Front wheel drive rare car. The back end looked like a boat. It went pointed. It went like this, okay? I can get up here. And then it came back kind of like a boat tail. I don't want to try to imitate a model because it's not going to look right. But I thought about maybe just sloping the back of a body like that a little bit. So we're not sure. We're not sure what we're going to do. Another idea is, see these curves of these spoons and stuff? It reminds you of that bubble car. Custom bubble. You ever seen that? You can make a little bubble car. There'd be your little thing that covers for your roof and your windshield. I remember it when I was a kid, but just plastic spoons, silverware. Oh, I also watch a channel that makes little Hot Wheels sized cars out of those cheap cigarette lighters. You know, the greens and blues, and they're transparent. I can't tell you the name of that channel either. It is hot in here. I'm not lying. I will show you. I keep turning the heater down. I can't complain. We have wind gusts out there of 30-some miles an hour. That's all thought out. I keep turning my heater down. Believe it or not, I actually start getting hot in here. Because the heater is right beside me. Like I said, it's blowing this heat all around here. It gets up in your face and everything. So it's kicking on again. So, break time. We deserve it. Okay, we'll show you our straight axle so far. We did shorten it down as far as the height. I don't know if you can tell. We have a groove dremelled into there, okay? So then what we did, we took a piece of ink filler tube, which the axles fit in. Used to make racing model cars that way, roll down a ramp, stick it through there with some oil on it. Anyway, it's about a 1/4 inch long, and then we cut this way. We put a slit, you know, cut a notch out of the pipe, so you flip it over, it looks just like this. Glued it on there, so we have a complete hole through there. If we can get this turned around. It's kind of delicate. See that? If you can see it. Then we're going to put some epoxy over this, because epoxy is a lot stronger than this plastic glue. Okay, it's be close to the almost the last clip. I have one more clip I'm going to show you, then we'll be done. Excuse me, for this week. And my battery's flashing, so one more clip. We thought we'd show the axle, and we'll be right back with that. Okay, we're about done for this week. I had to make a new one of these. This is the one that didn't come with the parts. Well, it finally wore out to where, and I've showed this where I had to make threads by tightening that plastic down on there. Well, it just kept pulling over the collet. If I can get this around here. I still haven't changed my battery. See where it just pulled through? So it won't tighten up the slots, the fingers on the collet. So after having this, you can look back, if you could find it when I got this. I used it all last winter. I finally had to make a new thing for it. But yeah, this came with a bunch of bits. So that's it. We're out of here for this week. I'm done. I'm going inside where it's warmer. I'm going to finish a little bit more on my straight axle and let it sit there and cure overnight. So we're out of here. Thanks for watching.